Hi Reid, it's Linda. Thank you for submitting your essay on time and thank you for your patience with the feedback. I want to go through this with you. I want to tell you that your organization and format looks pretty good. You've got your heading, you've got a title, you've got a page number, you followed MLA format well. You've got a strong sense of overall organization in terms of the essay itself. What I've done is I've highlighted in green the parts of the essay that I feel are contributing to the main idea, and I've highlighted in pink those things that I think are particularly good or special about your writing, and then in red I have highlighted things that I think that could be improved upon or changed for better clarity and coherence. And then there's a few other marks where I'll talk about those as I go through. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy here, but we're going to go ahead and start up here with your introduction. I like the idea that you've got a hook about with asking some questions. I did make a comment though that although what you're doing really works, you need to also try to consolidate the questions. Asking too many questions in the beginning of an essay can create confusion. So when I read this out loud to myself, I hear, is there a deeper meaning to some tasks than we think? What about events in our life? Maybe the challenges we face should be considered more thoroughly from time to time. Think about a time in your life where something has shaped the way you are today. Something has tested your morals and standard. An event that strained your commitment, integrity, and attention to detail. It does not have to be a large event. It's something that built your character. Was this even something that happened when you were young, a small child, a teenager, or maybe it happened yesterday? Did you realize this event or task was piecing together your character at the time, or did you realize even days or even years later? So none of that really contributes to your essay. It's kind of you working your way to your topic, but I'm a pretty simple, my taste is fairly simple when it comes to writing, where I think that the more direct you are, the better off you will be, especially in academic writing. So for me, the essay really starts right here, that through doing simple, mundane jobs as a child, with a parent, with a father, you became a better person. You become a more well-rounded person is what it sounds like. And then you talk about this night with your dad working on the car. Excuse me. And from here on out, the essay really, really works. You can see that I don't have a lot of red going on. You've got excellent detail. You've used dialogue well. You've formatted it correctly. I love this part right here about how you define what a thermostat is, because I didn't know, but you work it into the essay really well, and you don't overdo it. It's just perfect. It's really good support. You've set kind of a feeling or a tone for the essay or for the story here, and it's really great. So there's just a few spots here that need some work. My dad begun by opening his door and pulling the hood release. Begun is not a great verb to use here. I would just say Dad opened his door and pulled the hood release, revealing the workhorse burdened with the task of pulling the massive metal, plastics, and rubber that is known as a truck. My young self was amazed at how busy but organized it was. I was amazed. Simplify. Everything has its place, its purpose to keep the machine running. There were no wasted pieces. My father peered into the dark cavern, take out that comma, before exclaiming that he needed a flashlight. I recommend that you start your sentence here like you did, but then the next sentence after should be this one, because this is kind of like a topic sentence or a main idea sentence. And I think it would be better for you to bring it up closer to the beginning of the paragraph where it would stand, where it would be in a better location in terms of the narration. Now over here, I mentioned that this is a really short paragraph about holding the flashlight. So I just put in my note that you're not writing a creative story here, so you do need to be very explicit with your audience. Remember, this is an academic audience, and you need to explain why you included this. Like, why was this situation significant to you? What did you learn here? I think this whole situation is key to your essay. It's a very pivotal part of the essay for me. So I think this is worth developing further. And then you kind of wind things up, and you have this thing that your dad says that, don't worry, we'll get it soon all by ourselves. And I think that this phrase, all by ourselves, is all about independence. And maybe the reason why this memory stands out for you is because you, even though you were only 8 years old, you were beginning to cultivate a real sense of determination and independence and acceptance by your father. And those are all very important ideas. This is how you spell persevered. What followed after was a mad dash to replace the broken part and reassemble everything as quickly as we could. So a little formal, a little wordy. I would say something more like, the threads relinquished their hold and slowly came out, and then we made a mad dash to replace the broken part. You know, kind of combine those sentences together. Again, don't use a lot of questions, especially in a conclusion. Work really hard to make your statements strong. You want to lead the reader into feeling that you're strong. And then also, I think this video here that you watched is, I've actually seen that too, and I think that you should probably start with that, like switch the order, and I made a note here about it, because this is a kind of a supporting detail, and then you want to come into your conclusion. So the conclusion starts with something very specific and ends a little bit more broadly, and I think that that would be a nice organizational strategy. So that's your essay, and I appreciate your patience, and I look forward to seeing your final draft soon. Take care. Bye.